colleagues and friends. In fact, I am just going to speak about India's neighborhood policy. In fact, I've just looking three parts. Particular first part would be attributes of South Asia. Second would be India's policy objective, neighborhood policy objective, and third would be approaches and dimensions of the neighborhood policy. In fact. First thing, what we are discussing since yesterday, South Asia. South Asia basically, it is the terminology of South Asia has been given by the Americans. Basically, it is a part of the American policy or study program. In fact, earlier it was known Indian subcontinent. Indian subcontinent was before 1947. In fact, and it was frequently used after 1971 by the Americans. Second thing, what actually constitute a region? In fact, that is also very important. When you look at the region, that reveals that region is a cluster of geographically proximate countries who shares common historical legacies, socio-cultural affinities, and common political, economic, and strategic interests. But most important thing, what Professor Kamath has talked yesterday, that desire to live in peace and harmony, that actually constitute a nation, constitute a region. In fact, and when you are looking into South Asia, that definitely, if you are looking civilizational and historical and all that way, and today's geographical location, proximity, you find that definitely you can say region, or otherwise also like we say as river, mountain, ocean. These are the ecological systems, and most importantly, we also say we are the underdeveloped countries who is where half of the population is below poverty line. So in that perspective, we find that this is South Asia can be termed as a region. In fact, but the other parts of the South Asia, that actually, if you are going in the reality, that you find that this region is basically India centric, and that Indo-centricness of this region is distancing the neighboring small countries, particularly when you look the asymmetries in real sense of economy, military, and size. Then it generates mistrust and creates a differentiating perception among the small neighbors of this South Asian states. And because of this, that first power and then second power in South Asia has gone for the nuclear rivalry. The most important thing, what we from the very beginning, you can see the other part, that the ill-defined geographical border has also created mistrust and anonymity among the South Asian countries in the context of Kashmir, or you can take the Indo-Bangladesh border, and that has it. And the third part, what Professor Sangeeta was also talking, that the complex ethno-religious dispersions has a spillover impact on peace and stability of the region. And last but the last point of what distancing these regions is the diverse political system in the South Asian countries. The different political systems, the military in Pakistan, the dominating factors, monarchy in Bhutan, Himalayan Bhutan and Nepal, it was there. That has created ad hocism in the policy perspective of these South Asian countries. So you are looking at attributes of these South Asian countries, that there are factors that makes South Asia as a region, but there are other factors that distancing each other's being South Asia as a region. We had basically, when you are looking India's neighborhood policy objectives, that there are three broader policy objectives. One is the security. In fact, the first objective is the security, internal and external powers, and second, that economic development of this region, and third, the political stability of this region. These are the three broader policy perspective of India. And first, if you take the internal security objectives, first is the counter-terrorism strategy, particularly in the context of cross-border and state-sponsored terrorism, has been discussed yesterday also. That and the terrorist outfits having international linkages, And the second is the homegrown terror. In fact, that is the objectives that how India can suppress these terrorist activities or suppress these violent non-state actors in this South Asia. Second is the resurgence of fundamentalism and religious extremism. In fact, that has been grown at three levels. In fact, the first level you can say that the political elites or petrodollar in fact has patronized the Islamic so-called Islamic states and Islamizations, or you can Sharia rules and all that in the South Asian countries in the context of Afghanistan, Pakistan and Bangladesh. And second, at meso level, in fact, what Professor Kamath was talking about, the decline of the scholarship, particularly decline of the Islamic scholarship, that the interpretation of Islam has been diluted, in fact, in the sense has generated intolerance or Islamic fundamentalism. At the micro level, particularly that the effect of the migrants to the Gulf countries has. So India's policy objective is that how that can be these terrorism, resurgence of fundamentalism, and third is the insurgency problems can be this objective can be met. Definitely for this you need the cooperation among South Asian countries. You need like the insurgents problem in the northeastern region. You cannot solve this problem if you don't have support from Bangladesh that had recently extended this support. The second dimension is the external dimensions has been discussed yesterday. Professor Swan Singh has talked about the Chinese or extra-regional powers presence in South Asia. As Professor Arvind has also talked about that China in fact has strategic trying to engaging or strategically encircling India with a capacity to increase presence through military and economic aids, building ports and all that. That is the basically Chinese. Professor Swan Singh has discussed yesterday very well that basically their policy objective in South Asia is balancing India or India. Second is that trade and investment regime. Tibet issue is there, Xinjiang issue is there, and balancing America and South Asia is also the factor that how you can balance these. So that is the extra-regional powers has broader policy objectives. In the United States has also similar objectives, particularly United States these days has talking more about the building peace and liberal secular democratic forces in South Asian countries, and definitely war on terror, insurgency, extremism is also the motive of the United States, South Asia. What is the broader policy objective of United States in South Asia is that balancing China, war on terror, or eyeing on the nuclear programs. Trade and investment is obviously, of course, is the factor in the policy. Second policy objective of India is basically economic development of South Asian countries. Basically having relatively higher economic rates, India wants to give the leverage to the neighboring countries through cooperation in the areas of science, technology, software and all that. Particularly the point is that India should use economic diplomacy to engage the South Asian countries and to bring the developments in these South Asian countries. China is also doing in the same manner in South Asia or other parts of the world. India should do in the neighboring countries so that you can develop these neighboring countries. The second objective is definitely fostering trade, aid and investment regime. And bringing economic stabilities in these South Asian countries. And third is the India perceives that cooperation in areas of water, energy and connectivity can bring the development and sustainable development in these South Asian countries. That can be possible if you have the cooperation among the South Asian countries. Particularly if you are talking about the connectivity issues, you want to go to northeastern states, you have to cooperation with Bangladesh. If you want to generate the energy or hydroelectricity, you have to cooperate with Nepal and Bhutan. So you can say, and you want to share the water and all that with Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan. This basically there should be a cooperative mechanism, multilateral, bilateral, whatever the way. So this is the policy objective. Second policy objectives that will bring economic developments among the South Asian countries. Third important factor is that political stability in these South Asian countries, particularly like India had always lended support to the secular democratic values among these members. Particularly the best example was this India's support to the democratic movements of Bangladesh in 1971 and got liberated from the authoritarian regimes of Pakistan. I will definitely, that was the prime objective of India, to support the liberation war of Bangladesh. Second objective, India needs to cultivate liberal regionalist forces in the neighborhood. That is the second point. In this meeting, these policy perspective, yesterday, day before yesterday, in the first class, when we were introducing with the students that what are the significance of the Asia Fellows. I was Asia Fellow. I've been based in Bangladesh, and in being Bangladesh, I have learned, I've seen that the internal dynamics and policy perspectives of Bangladesh. If India, suppose India wants to make the policy towards the Bangladesh or other neighboring countries, if you are based in Bangladesh, you have a good understanding about the neighboring countries, you can make a better policy perspective. Like in the neighboring countries, I have I have drawn that broader perspective or dynamics of internal dynamics of this Bangladesh, particularly you are talking about Bangladesh, that there are three constituencies in Bangladesh: liberal, realist, and the radicalist. Liberal, basically, they believe more in the context of cooperating relations with India. Wants to thinks in the sense that India had helped us in the liberation war and helped the people from the atrocities and all that perspective, and they have positive approach developing relations with Bangladesh. The second force is the realist, in the sense of realist, they want that there should be state-to-state relations, and this state-to-state relations, the sovereignty, coexistence should be respected, but more importantly, that we should bilaterally or multilaterally resolve the issues and conflicts between the two countries. That is the second force existing in Bangladesh. And third force is the radicalist. They talk in the sense of that India is a Hindu India. India is a hegemon. India is a asymmetric power in South Asia. We should not, they cannot think they have basically anti-Indian perspectives. What is my point? When the liberal and the realist